Shalom and welcome back to Flipping Pages, Stirring Sauces. It's been a while and I must apologize for that. I have been very busy trying to replace some of the income that Pure Later has taken away from my income stream since January 10th, 2022. And as you all know, being a mother is paramount to me. So I've been being a mother, and I've been following the peaceful protest that has been happening in our nation's capital. And when I do my report on that event, I would like it to be as accurate as possible. And as a result, I've been paying great attention to the live streams that are coming right out of the situations as they occur. I stopped paying attention to mainstream media 2 years ago when I looked around and realized that what they were reporting was not reflecting what I was seeing around me, what I was seeing in my environment, what I was seeing in my neighborhood, what I was hearing from my neighbors and friends. And so as a result, I've become very skeptical of pre-recorded and edited information. And that is a big part of the reason why I do not edit my videos. I release them as is. We are human beings and we are not perfect. And though I strive for perfection in certain aspects of my life, sometimes it's better to leave the little mistakes in. And today is going to be a very short one. I've also been trying for the third time to save the life of an individual who doesn't realize how sick he is. That individual, I had not planned to go down this road today, but since I've stepped onto that path, that individual, I refer to him these days as the father of my children. For about 10 to 12 years, we had the perfect marriage. I had the perfect husband, and I strived to be a wonderful wife. And Big Pharma, believe it or not, Big Pharma got in between us, and things went downhill. But we still have a good relationship because we share children. And he was diagnosed with cancer some time ago. But because of the lifestyle that he lived, very active, running marathons, and I made sure he ate healthy. If something would cause an adverse effect, it didn't come into the house. I cooked healthy, I bought healthy things, and I tried to keep him as healthy as possible. Circumstances changed, and I couldn't always be home at dinner time to prepare that healthy meal. And he suffered an injury and had to stop running. And that caused his physical health to deteriorate because he didn't see doing other forms of exercises other than running to stay in shape as an option, I guess. And some years after he was diagnosed with cancer, his cancer started acting up, and his body was in such a state that at that time he couldn't get conventional treatment. And I decided that he wasn't going to die on my watch. And I decided to do the things my grandmother and my father did to keep us healthy. They didn't pop a pill. My father would go into the woods and chop certain trees and shrubs and herbs down, and we drank that, and we didn't get sick as children. And my father, I know I've spoken in a previous video that my father was told to take my sister home and make her comfortable so she could die in peace. And how my father was able to cure her was by the bush that he gave to her to drink, and by the bush that she herself would suck on. We had aloe vera growing wild on the property, and she would break that aloe vera plant and just suck on it. At the time, we didn't realize how medicinal that plant was. We just saw it as a nuisance because it grew everywhere. And, my grandmother, she also would boil bush every morning. That's what we drank with breakfast. That's what we drank for tea. Different types of bush. And me, I took an oath some time ago not to kill anything that breathes the same air that I breathe, not to maim anything that breathes the air that I breathe, and not to physically injure anything that breathes the air that I breathe. And as such, I eat no meat, no fish, no eggs, none of that stuff. Nothing that gives birth goes into my body. I am a vegetarian. And somewhere in Leviticus, the Creator says, these herbs and berries are your meat. Some people think meat means flesh. Meat does not mean flesh. Meat means food. And the Creator also says, thou shalt not kill. He didn't say thou shalt not kill man. He said thou shalt not kill, period. And he left it there. Didn't expand on it. And I do not judge the people who eat meat. My children are meat eaters, and I still prepare meat for them because that is their choice. I would never force my choice on them. As a parent, I hope to lead by example, and whatever I cook, they will eat. So if I make a vegetarian dish for dinner, they don't have any issues with that. They will eat it and be happy. So they don't make a big fuss There's certain meats that I choose not to do anything with. I will not touch. I will not touch pork. I will not prepare pork. And I have my own dishes in pots that I use to prepare my meals. And but it got to the point where this man, this wonderful man, allowed Big Pharma to get in between us. And it changed our relationship drastically. We had a live-in nanny who was with us for 2.5 years. And I remember her saying to me one day, "Ma'am, do you and Sir ever argue? I've been in this house for 2.5 years, and I've never heard the two of you argue." You see, the thing is, with that man, we had discussions when we put our head on the pillow at night. When that man spoke, sometimes I had to get up very close to him and say, "What did you say? Can you repeat that?" We had great discussions. We didn't fight. We didn't argue. If somebody can have a perfect relationship, we had a perfect relationship. And I'm going to get into the backstory behind that on another date, on another time, at another time. But that is the relationship we had. Our home was a very happy home. But anyway, when his cancer started acting up, he would lay in bed and curl up into the fetal position, and he would say, "Why don't you just let me die?" I wasn't about to do that because he's a wonderful father. And I would say to him, "Even if I don't want you around for me, I want you around for our children. And I'm not going to just sit back and let you die on my watch." And I would blend horrible things, bush, leafy green vegetables. And whenever I go to Jamaica, I always bring back my supply of bush. That's what keeps me healthy. And I would blend these things up and I would give them to him to drink. And he would complain, "It tastes horrible. I don't want to drink this." And I would say, "Yeah, I know it tastes horrible, because when I decided that I was going to fight this demon with you, I meant it." And so before I gave him his glass full of horrible things to drink, I drank my portion of it so I would know exactly what I was asking him to drink. And he drank that stuff. And at the time, I was trying to run a business, take care of him, and be a mother. And it was hard. And that leads me to another topic that I will be sharing at a later date. But I fought. I fought for him. I fought for me. And I fought for our children. Fought until the point where he was able to get his chemotherapy. And he eventually beat that cancer. And in December 2020. I looked at him and I said, "Your cancer is back." And he looked at me like I was an idiot. And he had forgotten the fight. He had forgotten the fight that I went through when he had given up on life. And he went to the doctor, and his cancer was indeed back. And so the battle began again. And again, we drank horrible stuff. And once again, he beat the cancer. And then in spring of 2021, he said to me, "I'm going to take the shot." And I said to him, "You have underlying issues. Do not drink the Kool-Aid. And for the sake of our children," I begged him not to drink the Kool-Aid. He drank the Kool-Aid. And he drank the Kool-Aid a second time. And once again, I can see and smell that he's not well. And months ago, he called me from the pharmacy, and he said, "I need to get heart medication." And I said, "Heart medication for what?" He said, "I have heart problems." And I tried to tell him. I cannot convince him that his medical condition is as a result of what he chose to put in his body. So once again, Big Pharma is affecting the lives of my children and myself and him. And he intends to get the B. But anyway, his situation is so bad that they have to cut his chest open. And I said to him, "You don't have to go that route. There are things that you can drink that will reverse that situation." He blew me off. He blew me off and instead elected to take conventional garbage into his system. Yesterday he was huffing and puffing and was in such a state. And told me I'm sick and tired of all this stuff that I'm taking. I can't function. And then he begged me for the recipe of one of my brews. So I guess he now remembers. But anyway, I went out and I bought the stuff. And I whipped up one of those cocktails. And this time I decided I'm not drinking it with you. You're going to drink it by yourself. So I didn't drink it. I didn't taste it. And today, he's had one drink and he's looking so much better. I cannot make decisions for him. I will not make decisions for him. And I will respect the decisions that he makes. But I have come to the conclusion that I will never take another jab. And I will never swallow another pill. Big Pharma doesn't get any of my money anymore. The love of money is the root of all evil. And I have so much more to say on this subject, and that is not why I was on here today. I have a lot to say on that subject, but Ron Robinson, your deadline has passed, and you're doing the selfish thing in not resigning. And in choosing not to resign, it could cause your family to dismantle. And it could cause the breakup of other families. There's always a calm before the storm. And I'm going to leave that at that. That's all I'm going to say on that topic for today. Your deadline is past and you need to resign. And in one of my upcoming segments, I will be speaking to females who think that they cannot succeed in life without laying on their backs. But what I really wanted to share today is some information about the dictatorship that I now live in called Canada, and the dictator at the head of it. Because throughout this entire thing, I have been commenting on social media asking, where is the Governor General in all of this? Why is this tyrant dictator Justin Castro allowed to get away with what he's getting away with? Well, today, a very good friend sent me something that we can use to get rid of this dictator. Gratitude, John H. As Canadians, and I really would like for this particular segment to go viral. So please send this to every and anybody you know, because there are Canadians living all over the world who are not in agreement with what that dictator is doing. They think they got the truckers out of Ottawa. The calm before the storm. So, Canadians all over the world, you can contact the Office of the Governor General of Canada, and you can put in a non-confidence vote against the dictator who is now the head of Communist Canada. So, the number for you to call to register your non-confidence vote against Justin Trudeau at the Governor General's office is 1-800-465-6890. And apparently the staff there are very accommodating, very welcoming, and very helpful. That is the Canada that I'm proud of. Also, they are requesting that instead of calling, you email them. And the email address is info, I-N-F-O, at gg.ca. And in the subject line, you're going to put in non-confidence vote. I've already voted and the email didn't come back. So it is a good and legitimate email. They would like for you to keep your email very short. So you can just put in, I would like Justin Trudeau removed as Prime Minister. So once again, it is info at gg.ca, and in the subject line, you put in non-confidence vote, and then a short message. I would like Justin Trudeau removed as Prime Minister. And please, when you do that, use his proper name. Apparently they are overwhelmed because of all the phone calls that are coming in. So they are asking that we email instead. And thousands of Canadians, not a fringe minority, thousands of Canadians have already called in for this non-confidence vote and have already sent in their emails. So please make this go viral so Canadians all over the world who are feeling helpless and feeling ashamed to be Canadians right now can vote. Canadians, you have nothing to be ashamed of. Hold your head up high and be proud. The one person, well, actually not just Justin Trudeau, the entire parliamentary system right now should be ashamed of themselves. And Justin Trudeau and a lot of those politicians have committed political suicide. And if a reptile or a computer could commit suicide, that character who is in there heading Canada would already have done so. And people seem to think he's human. I've said it before. If you go back and look at my videos from the summertime, I've said it before. That thing who is in there as head of our country is not human. Do you really think a human being would watch an old lady being trampled by a horse? She's not dead, but her injuries were caused by thugs in Ottawa posing as police officers. There wasn't one police officer in Ottawa. Those were thugs. The police officers true police officers, they've resigned or joined the peaceful protesters in Ottawa. True police officers stayed clear of Ottawa. What was in Ottawa were thugs posing as police officers. That's what that was. They were very thuggish in their behavior. And I'm not reporting on that today because, like I said, I want my reporting of this to be accurate. But I haven't gotten much sleep lately because I've been watching and analyzing the live streams that were actually taking place when these events were actually taking place. I'm not going to rely on the edited version of things to tell my story. And I have to be awake when they are awake. And the live streamers are awake 24/7. So I haven't been getting much sleep. But anyway, I have to head out now to try and make back some of my revenues that have been taken away from me by the likes of Justin Trudeau. So I'm going to put that information in the description box so that if you missed it, you can get it there and cast your votes, Canadians. We are a proud people. We are a peaceful people. And we've united the world because a bunch of truckers decided to stand up for freedom. And a lot of those live streamers who are in the heat of this have drank the Kool-Aid. Justin Trudeau tried to divide Canada by race and by whether you drank the Kool-Aid or not. And what he did, he brought the world together. And people have seen Canadians for the type of people we are. Peaceful, peace-loving. I've seen people looking into the eyes of the thugs that were arresting them and saying to them, I love you. I love you. People punching them, thugs punching them. And their response was, I love you. Well, I have all of you. And I want to say tawada and gratitude to all of you who have liked, subscribed, and shared. Make this go viral. And it wasn't my intention today to go off about, I just wanted to get on here and share this information and go do my little hustle so that a roof can be kept over my children's head and food in their bellies. But the best laid plans doesn't always go the way we would like them to. Oh, I'm just getting something. To that young man out there, when I found out about the pregnancy, I congratulated you. And now I have to say condolences to you. And I also have to tell you that sometimes the Creator locks a door and bolts it. And you keep knocking on that door, trying to break it down, trying to get in. That door is not for you. If you just pick your head up and look up, you will see that just ahead, the Creator has a door that is wide open for you. All you have to do is walk through the door and claim what is yours. And if you look further, you will see that there's another door that's slightly ajar. All you have to do is push it open and claim what is yours. Stop beating down that door that doesn't belong to you. Pick your head up, look a little bit ahead, and see what is yours for the taking. And that doesn't just apply to that young man. It applies to all of you watching. Stop beating down doors that don't belong to you and walk through the ones that have been opened to you. Stop being afraid to make decisions. Stop being afraid to let go of what doesn't belong to you and claim what is yours. The Ancient of Days, the Most High, the Creator, Yahweh, Hawa, the Giver of Breath, Ahaya, did not give us the spirit of fear. You'll be happy about a yes, and a no will not kill you. A no will make you stronger. I give you my peace, my Hahab, and my Baruch. I wish you Shalom.